Good evening. I am Karol V. Brown Jones, and this is my Tuesday talk, and I welcome you. And Happy New Year. This is the first Tuesday talk in 2026. Another winter is here. Yes, yes, yes. And I hope yours is getting off to a good start. I've seen many winters, and most of them have been in the Pacific Northwest. And since I was born in December, I guess I can count every winter since I was born. That means 73 winters. Wow, that's a lot of winters. And I don't like to be cold, but that doesn't mean that I don't like winter because when you sit back and think about it, winter is part of the seasons that we were meant to live through. And tonight, I'm just going to talk a little bit about winter and myself, my journey, and what I've learned that I have to share with you. So today, I just, like I was saying, want to share a little bit about winter, but I also have um, given myself a new title that I want to explain to you. I consider myself an elder guide. Elder guide. I know some people don't want to be considered elderly, even though I'm 73. How else can I be? What else can I be? But an elder guide for women crossing from survival into freedom through love in actions. The love in actions is my mission. Let's just say my mission statement is the movement that I'm launching with my book, Get on Board, The New Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman's spirit is guiding us to love in actions. And as I have explained before, love in actions with that S on the end means that you put love in every action that you take on. So it's not, some people say you want to say, just, you don't need the S, just put your love in action. Well, I want it plural. Love in this action, the way I speak, this action, the way I connect with people, this action, the way I invest my time and my money. Let love be the guidance for each action that I take on. And I want to encourage that to other people. And as an elder guide with 73 winters, I have much experience in life, like I feel most of us in this age group are. So I have to share. So I am working to bring us together. Gigi United by Love, grandmothers and their girls united by love. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of us coming together and making a difference in the world. That is my purpose that I have decided to focus on. So let's talk about winter again. I talk about Harriet Tubman. I share her stories, and I have one for you tonight, too. When you think about it, winter is a time for slowing down, getting rested, going within. I mean, into your homes and staying there or inside, wherever, and going into your heart. This is an opportunity for us to set, take a step back from the busyness. When the daylight's long, we're out there a long time, moving around, doing things. In the wintertime, we take a little more time to ourselves at home. So Harriet Tubman lived to be 93 years old. Now she was born around March, so I give her 92 winters. She had so much wisdom to share. So she is an elder guide. With 93, I portray her as an elderly woman because I know of the wisdom that she had to share from all her life experiences. There's plenty of people telling the stories of this travel on the Underground Railroad and this one. I can tell them, but I also share her life before and after her travels on the Underground Railroad, her 13 trips back and forth on the Underground Railroad. Do you know the story of her last trip back? Harriet Tubman loved winter for the purpose of using the Underground Railroad, which just remind people in case someone forgotten or have not heard this before, the Underground Railroad was not underground hidden railroad tracks or tunnels. Of course, they might have used some tunnels before, but the Underground Railroad was all about people, people helping other people, because in their hearts, they let their love and actions guide them. They couldn't stand back and see people enslaved and treated horribly. So they did what they could to help them escape. Today, when I say let's get on board the new Underground Railroad, I'm saying let's come together again and help people find their way to their better lives, whatever they are, through love in our actions. So the last trip back before the Civil War started, again, Harriet lived in Maryland, and her trips were primarily back to Maryland, Dorchester County, around Cambridge area, where her family was. Her sister, Rachel, she had tried two other times to get Rachel. Either Rachel's children weren't available to go with her and she would not leave her children, or something happened the second time. This was the third time, and people tried to tell Harriet it's getting too dangerous. Don't go. She had to go back. It was a big storm that winter, big snowstorm. The way Harriet worked is she would not go right into someone's town or on the plantation. She would have a place where they would meet her out in the woods or graveyard or something like that. And so people knew the place to meet. Harriet found herself in the midst of this snowstorm, and her sister didn't come. She didn't want to leave the location where she had said she would meet her. So Harriet spent the night out in the forest in this snowstorm. She prayed. She used the wisdom that her father, an elder guide, had given her when she was a girl. She worked with him out in the woods. He was a lumberman, and he taught her things about surviving in the woods. She knew where good hiding places were. She was able to feel on the side of the trees to see if she couldn't see the North Star, which was another guide that he showed her. The moss grew thicker on the north side of the tree. So Harriet knew to follow that towards north, and she could not see the stars. He taught her which plants were good for medicine and which ones were good to eat and which ones to stay away from. Bird calls, how to track footprints and catch her own food. Harriet was had the benefit of the elder guide, her father, and the elder guide, her mother, who taught her to pray and to have faith and to trust God. And Harriet did. She also had what was in her heart, her own soul, telling her what her purpose was. She could feel it. When she got her freedom, there was no way that she was going to stay free and let her people stay in that slavery suffering. She knew she was there to help her people, to serve, and she did. She was a fighter and a determined person with courage and love in actions. When she went back, that's a demonstration of love in actions. Now, when you've lived a number of winters, you have an idea of what is to expect, how long it's going to take. But you just never know when a storm might come. On this occasion, Harriet made it through the night without any frostbite. She was saved out in the cold. Unfortunately, though, her sister had passed away. Rachel had passed away before she got there to rescue her. And she was unable to locate her sister's children. She could have just gone home back up north empty handed, but not Harriet. There was a family, husband and wife, and three children, one an infant, that asked to go with her. And she took them up north to their freedom. It was a challenging um, trek back north for that time, but they made it back. And she, again, with her love and actions, she could not turn this family down. She changed their lives. Isn't that a beautiful story? To know that even though you may have heartache and disappointment, those are things that we learn from. In my own life, the reason I'm all about helping other women who cross over survival and find their freedom, I myself had to find my freedom after I had to go through some years of domestic violence. And the year is 23 and me. It's not all about the DNA, although I do think it was in my DNA to have that part of my life that transformed me to where I am now. In 2023, I lost my firstborn daughter, Adia, to cancer. My marriage ended, would have been 48 years in June. Divorce ended it in March. And then my husband, ex at the time, but still very much part of my life, passed away. And then October, my mother, a 101-year-old mother who I had been taking care of for the last 4 years, passed away. But I had to find my way through that. And God helped me. He prepared me by showing me the importance of self-love and finding my spiritual guidance, learning to go within through meditation, prayer, studying, and gratitude. Gratitude for not so much the pain and hurt, but the strength to go through it and come on the other side and have a story to share and help other women cross over. Yes, I'm for the girls too, but I want women in my age group, the grandmothers, and women who aren't grandmothers, but in the age group of grandmotherly love, for us to come forth, find our own love and joy, appreciate where we are in life, and be the elder guides for the younger generations. You know, as I said, I needed to find myself. And look at where I am at this part of my life. So in 2025, I was actively moving and shaking and finding ways to try to make my business work, my business of my books, selling, doing workshops on Harriet Tubman and for girls, and podcasts, day in it all day long in here in my office. Struggling. I've invested in classes, and anyone who has a small business, they know what it takes. I've been working, trying to make something happen. Well, as I have learned to meditate more and look inside, I've been told by spirit, people want who you are, not what you do. Hmm, that really makes you think about who you are. What are you showing up as? What is the purpose that you are fulfilling? And that's why I'm here on this Tuesday talk, because the podcast is a part of me bringing people to you who have stories to share. And I love that. I mean, so many beautiful souls. Tuesday Talk is my time to talk about my own mission, movement, purpose. To get on board the new Underground Railroad is launching the love in action purpose that I'm trying to fulfill. In chapter 2, it says planting seeds of self love and unity. In this chapter, I talk about how seeds represent potential. The small little seeds that you may not be able to identify what it is when you're looking at it with untrained eyes, held secrets of what it's going to be. But what it's going to be, it already is. I love trees. I do. Where I live right now, there's a big, giant oak tree outside my window. When I moved to this house, it was November, not this November, but when I moved. And so the tree was bare as it is now, January. So I didn't know what it would look like full. Now I could see that there was a part that had broken off. In the spring and summer, it got fully blossomed. And then I saw that that was one part that was looked at must be dead. There was no growth out of it. I call it partially injured because it was still part of the tree. And that's a beautiful information that I've learned about trees. When I would look at it bare, I want you to take the time to look at the trees around you. It's like seeing the skeleton, and you can see the twists and turns and the way it went this way on this limb and that way on the other limb. And I say that it must be because of the situation, the weather, the wind, the nutrients that change throughout the year. It represents the many years that it has been observing the world around it. And if a tree could talk, you learn a lot about where you live, who has lived there before, what has happened in this area over the years. And trees, there's a special, I think, on Gaia about trees. Trees do not stand alone. Trees help each other. I have an image I want to share with you. Did you know that the tree root really goes deep, very deep? So I just want to show you tree root. You see that tree, one tree, they aren't even the same kind of trees. But look down below how the roots are connected to each other, strengthening each other, protecting each other. And learn that an older mother tree will also protect the younger trees. Right. They send out chemicals that can help protect them and strengthen them to get through maybe the drought or the fire. Who knows? But isn't that a beautiful thought? We can learn some positive lessons from the trees. In the fall, the trees just turn the beautiful colored leaves and they allow them to fall as they fall, wherever they go. And then the tree has time to rest. And then when it's time for the spring to come again, the tree doesn't have to hustle and prepare and study and try to make the tree leaves come back. They just exist and allow it to come back naturally. You get what I'm talking about? We have our trees to help us see how to live. And the winter time is a beautiful time to sit back and relax. With my new title, I'm taking on what I see as my purpose is to provide, is to be the love and action that I want to teach. Like they say, be the change you want to see. Well, that's what I'm all about trying to do. So you may hear me talk a little bit more spiritually because I am becoming very spiritually led and studying and understanding and looking for my awakening into who I really am. And who am I? I'm just as you are. We are all one spirit from one God. In my book, that same chapter, I talk about the different organized religions. And I have become connected to the Unity Church. Actually, I'm doing a presentation this Sunday, January 11th, at the Unity Church of South Sound, which is in Tacoma, Washington. And next week, I'll be at Unity of Olympia Church speaking at both occasions. I also will be at the Unity of Olympia Church doing a study based on this book. Now, that tells me something right there that I am on the right path of sharing my spiritual understanding and helping other people find their own way to understanding who they are. So, in this chapter, I talk about all the major religions and comparing, listing what they mission and their beliefs are: Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Centers of Spiritual Living, CSL, spirituality, Jehovah's Witnesses, the Baha'i faith. And when I look at all these, none of them teaches hate or fear of others. None of them. What they have in common, and which I discuss in this book, and I hopefully with you, there is one creator. Love and kindness are at the heart of everything. Forgiveness and healing are sacred. Helping others is a calling. Quiet time, prayer, or meditation keeps us connected. Honesty and fairness matters. And unity and connections are everyone's birthright. Everyone's birthright. These shared values are the soil from which Harriet Tubman's faith grew. They are the same ground. They're the same ground that supports my journey and gives me strength to tell my story. That is where I am in 2026. So I'd like to leave you with a meditation. And some of you may not be into meditating. That's fine. Later on this year, I'm going to have a friend of mine who teaches meditation as a special program. She shows you how easy it is and the benefits of it. Right now, I want you to think of it as an opportunity to rest in the wisdom of winter. So I invite you now to gently close your eyes. Or if you do not want to close your eyes, just soften your gaze a little bit. Eyes just partially closed or not really focusing on anything. And allow your body to rest in the chair that holds you. And take a slow breath. You breathe in for 4 counts. 3, 4. Hold it for 4 counts. And exhale for 6 counts. Hold 2, 3, 4. Let it go. Take a third breath. And realize there's nothing to fix, nothing to prove, nothing to rush. Imagine yourself as a strong rooted tree. Its roots run deep into the earth. It's fed by years of experience. Storms weathered, seasons endured. Notice how steady the base feels. You're grounded, supported. This is all you need at this moment. You're enough at this moment in time. And realize this is all that matters is right now. This time, present time, is all that matters. So it's winter now. The branches are bare. And that's not a loss. It is clarity. This is the season where the soul is visible. Like I mentioned, the soul of the tree, you can see it. The truth is simple. Where rest is allowed. Feel yourself letting go of effort, letting go of old strivings, letting go of the need to be anything other than what you are. and where you are. If there is a part of you that feels tired, offer it permission to rest. If there is a part of you that feels forgotten, gently remind it you still belong to the whole, like that tree branch. Just as the tree trusted spring will come, you do not have to hurry healing. You do not have to hurry answers. You don't have to hurry at all. Love already knows the way. Take one more slow breath in. And as you breathe out, silently say, I choose peace. Rest here for a moment, wrapped in stillness, rooted in wisdom, held in love in actions. You have this as a recording to listen to again. And when you're ready, slowly return, bringing with you the quiet strength of winter. All right, that was Tuesday Talk for today. I hope that I have reminded you that this is a time to let it do what it's going to do outside. Stay in if you can. Or if you like winter, here in the Northwest, it's mostly rainy in the winter time. But there are people up in the mountains ready to ski on that snow. Everyone has what they enjoy about the seasons of life, and that's fine. That's why we have it. We have a variety of things to explore and appreciate. And so I hope this will give you a little pause to think about how you can take a rest and just sit and love who you are and enjoy your winter break. Have a blessed evening, and remember, love in actions in every action you take. That's the way to live and to be in service of others. Bye-bye.